It's new from Aiwa. It's multi-standard, and it's multi-standard any way you want it. It's a super slim Aiwa VHS. Looking forward to this one. Let's crack on. Hello and welcome to another Mr. Betabyte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we're looking at the Aiwa MG330. It's a multi-standard machine, but it's a little bit different insofar as it uses digital processing to actually make the conversion, and it'll actually do the conversion on the fly as well, so you can input a signal and output it as different formats. So really quite an amazing piece of kit. Now the last multi-standard video recorder that I featured, VHS, which was the Akai, generated quite a lot of comments and emails and all the rest of it about just the variation of machines that are out there. And I have to say, one particular machine I'm really sort of keen to look at is the Panasonic multi-standard machine. Can't remember the model number, but it's K series deck, I believe, and it really is a world standard machine. It even has a map of the world showing all the different formats. So this machine came from Steve. Thank you very much, Steve. And this actually went up in smoke, so I'll be sort of quite interested to see what's actually wrong with this. Get it going, and then we'll do some tests and checks. I mean, it would be quite fun to sort of see what it's like if we can get it going. So I do have the remotes. It does have batteries in there which have not leaked, which is great. And yeah, other than that, I know nothing about these machines, so yeah, let's crack on. So I've taken the top off, just 4 screws to each side, and something really starts to like sort of ring alarm bells. Maybe not in a bad way, but this is looking suspiciously like the same deck that Amstrad used. Finai deck, I think it is. So that might be good. Finai decks are generally okay, but I mean, it's basic. It's a basic deck, and it almost feels like the electronics is sort of taking over from the deck. The deck is almost like an afterthought in the design process, but it's a video recorder, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't have a manual. So I'm just doing this all off the cuff. I expect lots of comments on this because I'm just sort of making this up as I go along. Got a buzzer, some interesting surface mount electronics going on here, which I'm guessing is something to do with digital processing, maybe for the signal, the different formats, but we'll see. We'll learn as we go along. We've got a power supply unit there, which I can see has something nasty going on. And yeah, it's quite an interesting machine. Definitely built to a budget, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Let's crack on and get that power supply out, I think. Okay, so I've removed the board. I was sort of a bit questioning how this would lift off, whether this does actually need to come off. This must be the digital board. Yeah. So digital processing is all on this double-sided board, which must be an absolute nightmare to work on, and has lots of surface mount capacitors, which they could be fun, because they are of the era where they do tend to just leak for the sake of leaking, just with age. So yeah, I need to get this power supply out. It looks like that's on a socket. Gosh, what's gone on there? It's actually rust, I think. So these will be just bare end ribbons. Yeah, definitely an Amstrad style deck. So yeah, the cut corners there. And there we go, it's out. And then we've got connectors there, go to there. These all, they seem to be hardwired both ends, which is a bit odd. That one isn't. That one appears to be. Let's get the power supply out. I know I'm being rough. But yeah, I just have a feeling this machine might be too far gone to save, maybe. But I just don't want to say that, because it will be fun. It'll be fun to see just what this is like. Steve told me that it was really a very disappointing machine. So as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, I've got to try that. Oh, there's a screw on the back. So screw, oh, there's actually two. And why do I think maybe there's a screw underneath? Yes, there is. So unceremoniously pulling up the whole machine with the top board just floating about crazily. Power supply is out. There we go. So yeah, let's have a look. So the power supply's out from the machine. I just wasn't, well, I couldn't really see, to be honest. But both these are connectors, so that's great. I've checked the mains fuse. It's 1.6 low blow, and it is open circuit. So yeah, we obviously have some fairly major power supply issues going on here. We've also got rust, which may not have helped the whole situation. So, and just examining this closer, I think I can see what we're probably going to be up against. You can see the amount of rot that's come out the bottom of that cap. This is going to be quite a roller coaster of a repair. It's, yeah, I mean, these brown sleeved caps, I don't know what it is, but it's almost like irrespective of manufacturer, they're just terrible, just awful. I suspect pretty much all of these are bad. But the primary side obviously has gone bad as well because the fuse is blown. But why do I think this is not going to be worth doing? Which would be a shame. Oh, it's worth doing, isn't it? We've got to get this going. Let's see how far we get. This may end up being a two-parter because I'm going to have to buy parts for this, and they're probably going to take forever to arrive. But yeah, let's see how far we can get. So I think I might have come to a temporary full stop with this. The board itself is not that great. You can see there's some rot going on here. Now all this rot is actually from those capacitors. And what's even worse is you can actually see fluid from capacitors sort of on the board, and it's just rotting it all away. The culprit seems to be, or it is, like we noticed in the last segment, that this capacitor here was pretty rotten. But all of these are bad. I can actually see where you can make out, but you can actually see where it's all the innards have just leached out, gone everywhere. Mains fuse is well and truly blown. From what I can see, all of these blue, I think they're Elna caps are good. Can't see them. Yeah, Elna. So they're Elna caps. So in this age, they're not too bad. Yeah, it's starting to be quite troublesome in the Sonys, but of course they're like 40 years old. But yeah, it's. I mean, this transistor's bound to have been atomized as a result. Let's just put a meter across there. I still have not found a circuit diagram, and if you have an electronic copy of an Aiwa, if you have an electronic copy of an Aiwa MG330 service manual, that would be absolutely fantastic. It would help me no end, because I'm going to have to really go through this power supply and rebuild it. And yeah, okay, I can change all the caps and all the rest of it, but I would quite like to sort of have the manual. I can get by, but yeah, and I think, you know, the rest of the machine as well. It'd be useful to have a manual. So if you do have one, please do let me know in the comments. So let's see if we can get you in the shot. It's not dead short. That suggests it might be. Don't know. It really depends what the rest of the circuit. This is why I could do with a circuit diagram or service manual. But yeah, this is not panning out to be terribly wonderful. The fuse is well and truly atomized and going straight across the line on the DC side of the rectifier. So you've got a bridge rectifier here. That is low. So let's go across this diode, which is fine, unsurprisingly. But there's a standoff board here, which no doubt is providing some sort of switching electronics, maybe. It's a very tiny board. Oh, you can see it. It's down to the right of the transformer there. You can just see it standing up. Yeah, it's just atomize the fuse. Let's get the fuse out. Let's have actually a good look at what that fuse is like. I love the way I use a probe to do that. Yes, so you probably see that's really very black. That's gone bang. So yeah, and again, it almost feels like it's covered in something. It's like whatever's gone pop is sort of vaporized, but yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. So I'm going to leave this one here. Oh, there's a resistor there. Let's see what that resistor's like. It's probably going to be low ohms. Yeah, so that resistor's fine. So, yeah, sorry it's a short video, but it's going to take quite a bit of work to get this sorted. I'm not going to show that, although I will update on a future video what I've done and all the trials and tribulations that I went through to get this going. Yeah, I just really want to get this machine working because it's such a great machine, and I'm really intrigued to see what the format conversion is like, especially on the fly, especially as digital as well. Apparently, it's not that great, but we'll see. It'll be quite fun. Maybe we'll stick it on the capture gear as well and just do some captures. But yeah, so with that, thank you very much for watching, and please do like and subscribe. It does mean so much to me, and I'd love to be doing a lot more of this, and not just going around at midnight trying to fix these things, and get videos out, because yeah, that's sort of what I'm doing at the moment, is trying to tie in repairs with getting a video out, and that's not the best way to work, although I try my best. So yeah, see you in another video. Bye for now.